it's Heidi, your pottery pal, and it's been a couple weeks since I made a video, but this week we're going to do something a little different. Drum roll. We are going to go over what tools you need for image transfer. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to assume you already have a pot made. So you need your pot, and then I'm going to assume you've never done image transfer from before. So we're going to start from scratch. So you've never done image transfer before and you think, that's something I would like to possibly explore. I would actually recommend buying just some commercial rice paper. There is a company, Isla Transfers. They sell newsprint, like they print their own transfers on newsprint, and you can purchase those. There's lots of different companies that sell the rice paper transfers. This is one of the designs I sell. I would recommend buying some sheets, trying it out, see if you like it before you invest a lot of money and time into it. So let's say you've done that. You've bought the commercial transfers, you've tried it, you're like, oh, I like it, it's fun. But what's going to happen, might happen, it might happen, it might not. You might decide, I think I'd like to make my own. So step one of making your own, what I would recommend is monoprinting. So monoprinting is just what it sounds like. Mono meaning one, print meaning a print. So you make one print. So if I were to take one of my screens and make one print, it would be monoprint. It means you can only make one. So you can technically make a screen a mono print, but typically you don't. So what you do for a monoprint is you just draw on paper. So if you're going to draw on paper, what kind of paper do you want to draw on? Now there's two kinds of paper that I get a lot of questions about, the rice paper, and then what kind of newsprint do I use? So I actually grabbed the box. I'm going to scoot over here. And this is the paper that I have been using. It's U-Haul wrapping paper. I was using a different kind of paper on Amazon, but it stopped working. Like they must have changed the formula and it just deteriorated. So these come in pretty big sheets. I'm gonna zoom out so you can see this. And so I just cut these sheets to size. So if you're gonna monoprint, I would start with this, the newsprint. And then what you need, sorry, this is super loud. You need a couple slip trailing bottles. There's different kinds. These are just a couple that I have. These are nice because you can put this little metal, it's not a T, but I call it a metal T, in the top. So it doesn't get, your tip doesn't get all clogged. I bet, I'm going to show you. Because I bet this still, I haven't used this in a while, and I bet it still works. It does, see? Oh, these are really good slip trailing bottles. I haven't used this, I don't even know, a year? And just keep that little metal T in there, and it's no problem. There's a link. These are on my Amazon list. These are great. So you're going to start off, you're going to maybe get some of these slip trailing bottles. I'm just going to move this newsprint out of the way. Now the rice paper, you can slip trail on it if you want. But the thing with the rice paper is rice paper tends to do better with fine lines and like fine detail. So if you take the rice paper, and I usually print on the rough side. If you take the rice paper, right, and so this is a fine line pattern. But if I were to take the rice paper and try and print the house pattern on it. It's a lot of ink on the rice paper, and the rice paper, it's very durable, but it's still lightweight. So it's just kind of harder to do. It's not impossible. It's just a little more difficult. Okay? So that's really up to you. But I would recommend, I always use the rice paper for finer line pieces. Okay, so next, say you've made some prints or you've bought some prints, you want to transfer the prints. You've seen the video, you don't need slip, but you can use slip. It's really a personal preference again. If you're going to use the slip, these are the kind of brushes I like. They're called hockey brushes. I use this one a lot. It's probably about an inch wide. The bristles really fan out when you use it. I'll use this one if I have a really big transfer that I want to do. And this is how I paint the slip. They're pronounced kind of hockey, like the game hockey, but they're spelled Hake. And these are the brushes I really like because they hold a lot of the slip, but they also, the bristles are nice and soft, so it doesn't leave a lot of streaks on the. I also coat my pots if I'm putting slip on them with these. It doesn't leave a lot of marks because the bristles are so soft, so not a lot of streaks. The other tool I recommend if you're going to be cutting lots of transfers are these slice scissors. These are such nice scissors. This is just from permanent marker. I stained them. They're ergonomical, so your hands don't get fatigued. They're left and right. Cool. And I think they're left. I mean, this feels weird to me because I'm right-handed, but I mean, it still does the job. What else was I going to say? Oh, they've got ceramic blades, so they don't dull like other scissors. And they cut through underglaze really well. If you watch any of my videos, you've probably seen me cut through, I think there's tape on these, underglaze transfers with these really well. So these are a little pricey, but if you're going to do this a lot, I would recommend these scissors. The next tool I like to recommend, well, you need a sponge, right? You know that. You need a sponge. I really like this red Mud Tools rib. This is really old. But I like the flexibility of this. I mean, it's really a personal choice. I have a couple different sizes, but I like the smaller one. This is probably 2 inches. This is my favorite rib for applying transfers, because you can really, it's nice and flexible. So if you know your pot is contoured, just really compresses that edge nicely. So this is the rib that I would recommend. So once you have applied that transfer, you have to peel it off. I have no idea what this tool is called. A number 15 Marks cleanup tool. I don't, you know what's funny? I didn't even buy this tool. People used to give me pottery tools. Like someone would do ceramics as a hobby and then they would quit and they would be like, oh, here are all these tools. You should take them. And I'm like, okay. So I guess it's a cleanup tool. But what I really like is this edge is flat. See how flat it is? So when you have a newsprint transfer or a rice paper, anything, let me show you. Like if this is the surface, if my hand's the surface of the pot, you can take this tool and just kind of go on the back end and flip it up. Instead of taking a needle tool, I just hit the camera, sorry, poking at it and leaving a gouge in your pot, you can just take this nice flat surface and just kind of slide it behind your image transfer piece and pull it. So this is a tool I recommend. You don't have to get it, but it does make it easier, I think. So what's next? Oh, a pony roller. I also recommend a pony roller because once you peel your transfer, you need to kind of compress it because if you don't, it can bubble. So my little pony roller, I use this end just because it's curved, works better. Pretend this is a mug. You've seen me use this in some of my demos. So yeah, so I would just recommend maybe getting a pony roller. If you have to skimp, like let's say you're in a, because I think these are like $50, these scissors. You can use regular scissors. I used regular scissors for a long time. But now that if I'm going to do 50 mugs, I want to be able to not get hand fatigue. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good list. I'm sure once I finish this video, I'll think of something else. But um, I'm seeing my heat gun over on the bench. I don't think you necessarily need a heat gun. It could help. Um, I do recommend a porous tabletop. That does help a lot so that it absorbs the moisture from your transfers if you're going to apply slip to it. But if you're not, it doesn't really matter. The other thing, let's see, I think that's it. But if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me in the comments. There is one thing I forgot. I am teaching an online class the last Saturday in January, and there's early bird pricing now until the end of the year, so it's $50. And then after that, it'll bump up to $65. And that's going to be a 2 to 3 hour class, and we go over so much. We go over mono printing, we go over drawing, how to use drawing fluid and screen filler. We go over how to use like a pre-made screen, like from Speedball or what's the other company? Small Dog Prints. And then we also go over how to use emulsion and how to burn your own screens. So if you're interested in that, I just wanted to let you know that the early bird pricing is now until the end of December, and I'll put a link for that in the video description. So anyway, pottery's better with a pal. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. I'll see you next week. Bye.